Good morning, it's the 200th video special! It's amazing, I know, right? 200 videos on the internet? I know what you're thinking, Eric, shouldn't you be a lot better at this by now? Well, joke's on you, sucker, cause this is a lot better. Like, wow! I know that seems hard to believe, but yes, it does get lower than this. Look at this!
A purpose. But purposes are really overrated, you know? If everything had to have a purpose, why bother living? Ah, that took a dark turn. This isn't going so well. I'm going to retreat now. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I actually fell.
I think that goes on for like 24 minutes or something. Yep. Welcome to your morning Schmiel. It's your morning Schmiel, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Good day! Yeah! Sunglasses? Or do we do sunglasses for this? I don't know. It's a new thing. 200 videos, that's a big deal for me, man. Alright? I've always had a desire to be a creative individual. I always felt like I could be good at it, maybe, I don't know. But when I was younger, I wanted to be a writer. That was my big thing. Part of it is you don't need anything. All you need is a pen and a paper and you're good to go. And as a broke young man, and an even broker older man, it seemed like a natural fit. But I always had trouble making myself write. I could never seem to do it, all right? And so it wound up being that a lot of teaching myself how to write was really teaching myself to write at all, to overcome this kind of procrastination, to overcome this like freeze block that wouldn't let me actually create anything. I spent many years just ingraining in myself the ability to say, fuck it, just make something, just put something down on the page. I mean, this even goes to when I was like 5 years old, and we used to have to write these little 3-sentence paragraph things in class, and I could never do it. Some kid would come up and say, oh, this is the thing I love, this is a cool thing. And then you're supposed to write, 3 sentences about the dude. And I would sit there for like 2 hours staring at the page, because I just couldn't, I just couldn't find the perfect words, right? I couldn't make the perfect sentence. And I felt like it did take me forever to actually write something, but when I did, it was actually pretty good. Or at least decent. I mean, what do you expect from a wee child? I don't know. Maybe that's just false confidence of childhood. Point is, I couldn't do it. But I felt like I could be good at it if I did do it. So I struggled with that for most of my life, to be honest. And I was trying to. I've started like 3 different blogs with like a weekly kind of schedule thing. I try to write stories and all of that. I want to be identified as a writer. I want to be a writer so bad, but I didn't write. And you can't be a writer if you don't write. And you start to get this kind of subconscious thing where it's like, am I just a guy that wants to be something, or am I a guy that actually wants to do something? Right? Do I just like the idea of being a writer, or do I actually want to be a writer? That's where it gets a little dark, man. But honestly, over many years, I feel like I finally cultivated in myself the ability to just write. And it's weird. To me, that's what developing my skill as a writer has been. Because that's not really, it's not, I don't know. It's not like you're improving your craft. You're just getting the ability to do it at all. It's weird, man. I stopped reading over the years, and you can't be a writer if you don't read. My time just isn't there for it. I used to love it, but I'm so freaked out about time these days, man. And when push comes to shove, I usually don't pick a book to read. I mean, I still like to read, but you steal it in little 10-minute segments here and there, but you can't get through a whole book 10 pages at a time every other day, right? I mean, you can, but it will take you like 2 months, and that's not like when I was reading as a kid, I would inhale books as a child, just blast through like 3 a week or something like that. 10 pages every other day in a coffee shop on your lunch break, it's not the same. But I always had an interest in video too, right? But I never really thought it was possible because this stuff takes equipment that costs money that I never actually seem to acquire at any point, which I assume, maybe as I get older, I just accumulate more. No, not really, no. But slowly, piece by piece, I don't know, I've embraced the low budget bullshit of it all and have managed to make some things. Honestly, it's the digital revolution that has made this possible for me, man. The advancement of cell phone cameras to something that was serviceable. I never even had a webcam as a kid. I still remember my freshman year of college, and everyone had their new laptops for the first time in their life because you need one to basically get by in college. And this is like 2006, and it seemed almost like a rite of passage for people to just fuck around with the built-in webcams. But I didn't have a laptop until I was like, until I was already a man, until like 2013 or something like that. And then I got to have a webcam for the first time, and that's when I finally got to start making videos. And then later upgraded to my cell phone, which is weird to say as an upgrade, but thank God people just put that in as a feature because just fuck it, right? It's weird how video and cameras have become ingrained in our life and has become an everyman tool that is just accessible to everyone, right? At least in the same sense that a smartphone is accessible to everyone, which it kind of really isn't, but to a large substantial portion it is, right? You know what I mean? I feel like the work I put in for years and years trying to cultivate the ability within myself to actually just produce something with writing has carried over to this YouTube stuff, right? I don't think I'd probably be able to make anything, let alone 200 videos, if I hadn't been able to ingrain in myself that ability to embrace the possibility of failure or to disregard it as a factor, to embrace the suck, to be okay with it not being up to snuff, to just fucking make something and stop being a guy that says he wants to be something and starts being a guy that is that thing. Because, fuck it. Even if a lot of these videos are kind of shit that I've made, I can still say I'm a fucking YouTuber, man, because I actually have the goddamn videos. It's more than I ever did as a writer. I don't want to give up on writing, though. I still feel like, it's come in handy on occasion. I want to get back to it. But you gotta prioritize your time, right? And YouTube is a hamster wheel, man. It is a beast that needs to constantly be fed. And it's hard to find this happy medium between, things you're proud of and things that you think are cool and good and should be seen. And also something that is, just by the nature of it, something that you can produce quickly and repeatedly, right? Because you got to keep feeding the beast. This thing, the YouTube subscription feed is like your Facebook news feed, man. You just see the thing and then it's gone forever. You just happen to be there at the right time at the right place. It's disposable media. So how do you make something that really stands out that can exist on that kind of platform, right? I've just embraced that the things I make on here are not going to be very polished. They're going to be just hacked together, which also just ties into my own creative sensibilities to begin with. So maybe it's a good match. But you can't succeed here if you're going to sit there and work on a masterpiece for days and days and days, right? Unless you get like a whole publishing house behind you or something like that. Maybe not a publishing house, that's not the right term. A studio or something. A team, people. But if you're just a one-man guy, just fucking bolt it together and get it out there, man. You gotta feed the beast. Anyways, 200's a big deal to me. As a guy who's always struggled to be a creative, that's always kind of identified as one, it's validating, man. Like, I have made things. It only took me 30 years. I'm not quite 30 yet. I just always round up with my age. I've been doing that since I was like 15. I don't have to feel like a fraud anymore. I can feel like a guy who's made things. I haven't just been talking about it. That's a big deal to me. And I also want to thank all you guys that have, just kind of stumbled across this video thing I've been doing and decided to stick around. That means a lot to me, guys. I mean, I don't know. There's like about 108 of y'all on YouTube. And, it's amazing that how long that takes to build up. But, like, yeah. I have a whole new my perspective has shifted doing this for how much that actually means. And thanks for hanging out and watching movies with me, man. And talking with me in the comments. That's a big deal too. And just, anyone that's ever said something to me about the things I've been making, it's like, hey, or even just said, hey, I saw that, whether it's in person or on the internet. Thanks, man. Just thanks. Means a lot. And I hope you want to keep hanging out with me here on the internet. Thanks for hanging out with me on the internet. Do something great today. Have a beautiful day. Stay magical. And thanks for hanging out.